Just make sure you do a thumbs up when we know you're getting ready to go live.
Yeah, because we're not going to get the notification. Where's files? Do I have one that's called like files?
We could, yeah.
Uh-huh. We're getting a couple words.
You're going to mute us?
You're going to mute? Do you want us to just leave? We can leave if you want.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, good morning. Well, good morning from me. Good evening from you. Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I am doing well.
Good.
Welcome,
That's
everyone. Nice to see a few folks here.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if things are quite going to go how we planned it, but yeah, we thought we'd jump in and have a little bit of a chat about FS25 and what we've learnt in the last wee while. We did have a little bit of a plan for something we're going to try and do today. It's going to be a little bit seat of our pants, but we'll see what happens.
It is. We have got a couple of gentlemen over at PAX East who might have some exclusive stuff to tell us tonight that you're not going to hear anywhere else. But the internet is appalling. The original idea, wasn't it, Args? They were gonna stream the game, playing FS25 live.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, with I think just under 1 meg of internet connection, it's not going to work.
No.
So we're just going to have a chat with them. So let's bring them in. I don't know if they can hear us, but I have to turn their volume down because you know how loud they are. But here are Mr. DJ Goham and Mr. Farmer Cop. Welcome, gents. As you can see by the pixelation of the image, it is appalling, and they can't hear us. Can you hear us?
Are you there? Oh,
look, they've got some 25 live, and they can't hear us.
Funny.
We can't hear you. We
were having to communicate to them by screen sharing and Notepad before.
Yeah. We can't hear you.
Goodness.
Anyway, we were having a quick chat before, and it was working. But they have confirmed a couple of things that we kind of thought we knew anyway. I'd highlighted it this week that we'd found Rice from one of the game consoles.
Here
they are. They're back.
That's cool. Well, that makes 3 of us. Still out there.
Welcome, gentlemen.
I'll take my phone.
Can you hear us now? Come on.
Now bring us back in. We can see you now. Never mind.
Can you hear us speaking?
I think our audio is actually really delayed with the video that we're getting from them.
I think it might be right. Yeah.
Oh, hey, there we are. Hey,
hey guys!
So delayed.
Look.
We have got some exclusive FS25.
Oh, so we're swapping.
Yeah,
that's the Macdon swapper.
Very good.
Nice. So this is the footage. So Pharmacop and DJ
We can hear
have been
you,
able
yeah.
to play the
Yeah.
demo version of the game, the current build,
Can you hear us?
and sharing us. Yeah.
Yeah,
loud
we
and
can hear
clear.
you.
Yeah,
Nice.
dude, our internet's so good.
Yeah.
We're just talking.
I think they might be about 3 minutes behind us on the internet.
Yeah.
The audio.
We were just saying we had all
Baby
this planned.
cows.
So this is.
Oh, nice.
We
Well,
can
look how
see
little
stuff,
there.
though. That's
He's
positive.
peeking around the corner in there. Just be like, oh, hello.
Anyway, one thing the guys have found as well, as they show images there, one of the things they have found is the final crop that hasn't been announced. They found it.
Oh, this is the part we weren't supposed to show. Well, there it is anyway.
Oh, you've driven into the tornado.
Oh, is that the creation?
Yeah.
Share it
Can
on
you
our
hear
channel
us?
so we get in trouble, not them. Yes.
Yes.
I don't even know
very
why I
delayed.
asked.
Oh, this is the joys.
I'm just going to
of
keep
modern
showing screenshots.
tech. I don't even know why I'm putting my thumbs.
So
That doesn't work either.
Yeah, that's damaged. That looked like damaged crops from the tornado. The Cinnabogan telehandler.
So I believe there's
We're-
about a 10
We're
minute,
useless here. We're not even part of this anymore, are we?
There's about a 10-minute. I'm going to mute them for a second so we can talk over.
Oh,
each other.
ground information. Yeah, this will be a fun one to show.
There we go.
If it wasn't for the fact I was so pixelated, it'd look fantastic. Funny.
We can't even communicate with them to tell them to quit and rejoin.
Yeah.
So this is kind of hilarious. Evening, Amy. How you doing? Hello, everyone.
What are you gonna do? Yeah. Well,
We had big plans for tonight, and they've all gone down to Swanee.
Oh,
it's amazing.
well,
how-
that'll work.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, see you,
They're
boys.
gone.
Oh, I love it. Love it. So, what were we
There
saying
we
there?
go. That
They
seat of
told
the
us a
pants
couple of
stuff.
things, didn't they?
They did.
Exclusive. We know what the last crop is now, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yeah. So obviously you found a video that was shared and put a video up the other day about peas being in the game, and then a lot of eagle-eyed people picked up that the Oxbow harvester shown in the thumbnail or the header banner image on the fact sheet blog was actually a pea harvester.
Yep.
From
I
Oxbow,
did.
not the silage, not the spinach harvester we thought it might be. So.
Yeah, it was interesting. Somebody put it in my comments actually that this was obviously not the MK4 that was on the fact sheets. Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. What could go wrong?
So, and somebody sent me this link as well, which was their pea harvester, which looks very much like the one we've got on that thumbnail. So, yeah, a bit of sleuthing by people was led us to believe that was the case. So, yeah, very cool.
That's right. Yeah, so peas, and it sounds like
the guys
DJ
have
and
just
Farmer
confirmed
Cop.
to us. Yeah,
they've gone for a bit more of an explore on the map, and they have found green beans as the second of the question mark crops that were shown on the fact sheets. So
let's see if we can bring them back in for a second here. Hey guys, can you hear us? Yes.
We're just sitting here cracking jokes because there's nothing else to do.
Your audio was about 3 minutes delayed, so you were just looking stuff up, and yeah, it wasn't working very well. But we can
much
hear you
better
now.
now.
Fair enough. I was able to get stuff off of my hard drive.
Oh no, they saw it, just delayed.
Oh, okay.
Score it.
So that was great.
I would ask what you want to see, but I don't know if I can show you.
And
No,
just
that's okay.
give us a minute rundown on what you've found playing it, what you've thought of the game now that you've been hands on and had a run around with Farming Simulator 25.
Fog is not as big of a factor as most people think it would be. They think it's everywhere, but it's just where fog is.
Okay.
It's where you would expect it, so that's good.
Yep.
The lights look so
The
cool.
lights
with fog.
look ridiculously
It's
ridiculously
so cool.
good.
And you walk in front of
Vehicle
them, and
lights?
it's like two shadows. Yeah.
Ooh.
Lights when you drive. Okay, nice.
So the lights look really good. The ground deformation's pretty sweet.
Yeah. It will slow down your tractor if it starts to dig in and you can't. It takes a time to accelerate out of it. So if you're on a hard surface, you accelerate faster than if you're on a bad surface.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And if it,
Nice.
DJ was experimenting with it earlier, and if you have the tractor start to dig down into the dirt, it actually will slow the tractor down. And if it starts to dig in, it's just really cool. This is a really good clip here. We also saw some beehives. That's kind of a side note. So those will be coming back as well.
Yep, new beehives.
New beehives, yep.
Okay.
Peas and green beans are both in the game.
Mhm.
Green
I also
beans.
noticed the faster you drive, the less ground deformation you get, and also
Interesting.
the green
Green beans.
beans,
Yep.
man.
So I found there's one on the demo version. There's one field of green beans, and in 10-minute increments. Yesterday, I spent 4 hours playing the game, driving around the map and mapping the whole thing out, so I knew where everything was. So there's lots of pea fields, but there's only one small green bean field on the entire map. So
Okay.
I found that, and I was pretty happy with that.
Bravo. Well done.
Some quality detective work from the cop. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Your tax dollars at work. Thank you.
What's the general feeling though? What's the vibe from it? You know,
People are digging it. It's pretty,
Yeah.
really positive.
Yeah.
Really positive for me, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a lot bigger of a step forward than from FS19 to FS22. 22 to 25 is going to be like, I think
It's the
5
biggest
or
one
yeah.
I've seen.
definitely the biggest step ever, and probably 5 or 6 times the step forward from the previous step that we had from 19 to 22.
Yeah. So if you put Farm Sim 22 rebrand, immediately banned. Bye.
Yeah, it's
I mean, let's be
it's
honest.
wild.
We kind of knew that anyway.
I actually have my notes are on my phone that we're using. I was like, I have notes, but I don't actually. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to mention.
I took a screenshot of all the notes that you sent me yesterday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. I just want to make sure. Oh, straw. Straw will deform as you drive over it. So if you drive over like straw swaths or hay swaths, they will deform with the wheels.
Do the swaths look less?
GPS is automatic, scans fields, very easy to use.
Super easy.
Super easy to use. What else do I know? Okay, so I have 2 other things that I actually want to note here from the notes. So one of the things that I noticed was I tested. What's that? Oh no, I got to pause. I think we're delayed a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, keep going, guys.
Yeah, so if you drive over it, the same look that you get from driving over dirt is the same thing you're going to get with the straw. I don't know if it destroys it or not, but it looks like it just deforms it down, so it looks like you drove over it, which is pretty cool. And then I'll just ramble for a little bit because I don't know what the delay is, so I'm just going to ramble for a little bit about a couple things and let you guys answer any questions for your audience. So one other thing I tested was the ferry. The ferry. Okay, perfect. That was the goal. That was the key to ramble, I think. So the ferry, you drive onto the ferry. It kind of like an automatic tension strap. When you activate it, you can't move the vehicles on it. And if you get out of the vehicle on the ferry, then you will slowly slide off the back. You don't move with the ferry. So hopefully that gets fixed. But otherwise, the ferry works really well, and it's pretty cool to use. The other thing, oh gosh, there's one other big thing. Oh yeah, animal stable. So in the load up menu, you know how it gives you the little tips at the bottom. One of the tips, because I was reading them all to see if I got any information.
Yeah. Here, I recorded all of them.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, one of the tips said that in order for animals to reproduce, you have to feed them, water them, and clean the stables. Now, I didn't notice anything with the cows on the map if there was any dirt or anything, so it doesn't look like it's in the preview edition at least, but that might be something that's coming back as we have to clean up after animals again. And then, oh gosh, there's no production menu. We can't see any of that stuff. I checked any menus I could try to get into.
Oh, here. You can harvest when it's raining, but your yield is lower.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
So you can harvest when it's raining, but your yield is lower.
Yep.
And then,
You have my notes as well again?
yeah.
What do you got there?
Yes.
Stand by one.
Stupid stuff.
We're digging all the information up that we got.
Yeah, with balloons.
I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything on my list. Oh, if you hit the 2 key, your flashlight, you can either have your flashlight like you have normally, but there's a hand tool that comes standard with you that's a flashlight in your hand. So it looks like you actually have that, which is pretty cool. And the floodable fields, you can plant any crop you want. It doesn't have to be rice, so you can plant whatever you want in those fields. I don't know how that works or if it matters.
But rice has to be planted in a flooded field.
Rice has to be planted in water if you do the regular rice.
Yes.
Not the long grain rice.
Long grain rice, just like wheat or barley or something.
Yeah. Yep. That's the only other thing I have on here is I was able to access the menu for a fuel container like we have in FS22, and you can use a slider to fill it. It's not a selector where you go back and forth. You use a slider to put how much you want in there. And then the same thing for the sleep trigger. You can sleep in the demo version, and it's a slider, and you can sleep any amount of time in half-hour increments at any time of the day. So it's basically just a time fast forward that works really well. In base game time, you can speed up to 360 times. But I think that's everything I got, other than maybe a little bit more about tornadoes. Tornadoes do destroy crops and destroy trees, but we already knew that. So you can see that if you speed up time, the tornado moves faster. I know you talked about that in a video before.
Oh, why don't we take the bales from the Centebogan and try and line it up?
Put them up in a tornado.
Yeah.
I thought about doing that. So we don't know what they do to bales yet. We're going to try to find out hopefully this afternoon. That's the one question we don't have answered. And they did say, talking with Kermit, that building damage is not going to in general be possible, but it might be possible for certain buildings. So what I think from that is maybe the buildings that you can place and build yourself, they might take damage and have to be repaired after a tornado.
But we don't.
But we don't know that. I think that's the only way they could possibly implement that, but nothing's confirmed about that. That's just stuff that we're assuming based on what information we have.
Yep. And also the German YouTubers that were doing Gamescom last year, it was very handheld with the demo.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we got plenty of non-handheld non-hand-holding footage, which I'll be sending you guys this evening, and you can do what you want to with it.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. They can't.
I don't know what they're listening to. They're just.
Yep. No, they're very delayed.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What do you think they heard last? Or are we delayed?
Oh,
we're delayed to them.
Yeah.
Let's see how long we let
They're
them
still
run
focused.
for and see what they have to say.
RC's frozen.
Yeah.
Actually, they're both frozen.
They're
Look at
frozen.
that. I'll take a screenshot of that. That's great.
Solid.
That is a really good. Here, I'll get one.
All right.
Putting a message.
Man, what a face.
I got a screenshot of that too.
That's incredible.
Oh man, can I scroll down a little bit here to get just a better look at that? Yeah, let's get that centered.
Funny.
Oh man,
I think they're playing now that they don't know what we're doing.
Absolutely madness.
Goodness. All right.
Right, should we turn them off, Args?
We'll say a big thank you to Farmer Cop and DJ for going and taking time out of their day.
God of War, that's cool.
We'll wave goodbye to them and turn them off. So, that's some good info there.
We're both waiting. You message me if you want, but we ain't gonna be able to get it.
We go.
I got 69% now.
Yeah, it was interesting actually. About the Swatherman one because you and I.
We're very delayed from you, so I don't know if you can hear this or not. You'll probably get it pretty late. So just ramble on. I'm just going to mute our mic.
On 25, but obviously if they're using the same displacement mapping they use for the ground deformation for how they produce those, that's kind of cool.
They're going to have more detail, aren't they? They are going to have more detail. Kevin Wolf, we spoke to DJ before we came online actually. Before we went live.
Bye. Thank you.
Physics. It felt better. It drives better. He said he couldn't pinpoint what it was, but yes, he felt the physics are improved. And I don't know what about. So I think somebody put about bales and bags physics. He didn't say anything about that, but driving wise, he said it was smoother. Good evening, Omatana. Nice to see you here.
They definitely said as well that it wasn't, obviously not just the reskin. The step up was huge.
Yeah. Yeah,
in
it said the
between the
lighting's
versions of games.
ridiculous.
Mm.
Yeah, just the whole thing seems like a huge step forward compared to the difference between 19 to 22.
Mm.
So we kind of knew that. I mean, deep down, everything I've seen suggests that that's the case anyway, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So it's just a case of kind of having that confirmed now by actually playing it at some point.
Mm. Mm.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any big game shows in New Zealand or anything that I'll be able to get to have a play on it.
There we go.
Uh,
Thank you, Farmer
you're
Cop.
welcome,
It
mate.
was brilliant info. Thank you for that, mate. Much appreciated. Lovely breakdown and credit. You are the finder of beans. Green beans are in the game, so we know our final crop now. So, in fact, the fact sheets that came out on Friday.
Yes, Friday fact sheets. Fact sheet Friday.
Can you find the one with the trailer on, Args? Oh, in fact, there it is. Can you zoom in on the fill types? I think it's just scroll wheel. There we go. So when we got this yesterday, there's 2 question marks here for 2 crops. Now we believe now that they are peas and green beans.
Peas, green beans.
Which
makes sense.
Marks.
Which one?
What's the 2 green circles?
Spinach.
Ah, right. Okay.
That's spinach. Yep. So I went through and in my Fact Sheet Friday video, you'll see I had a screen where I listed what everything was.
Yeah.
So probably know them all: wheat, barley, oats, canola, sorghum. So canola and sorghum have changed. Soybeans has changed heaps.
Oh yeah, it's a lot more yellow.
Sunflower, corn, potatoes, sugar beet, red beet, carrots, parsnip. Now that was the long grain rice. That was rice. And interestingly, they don't call it short grain rice. This one, the white one's called long grain rice, but in the fills, like if you saw the Isaac rice harvester with rice in it, it was just called rice. So then we've got peas, green beans, which are the 2 question marks, spinach, sugar cane, and then I always get confused. Wood chips.
Wood chips.
That's wood chips. Cut sugar beet, silage, grass, hay, straw, mineral feed or concentrate.
Yep.
And then we've got one of these is forage, and then the other one's TMR. I can't remember which is the 2. Pig feed, snow, olives, manure, seeds.
Ooh, what's that?
I'm looking salt. That's salt.
Yeah.
Rocks, lime, fertilizer, and chaff.
Very good. Out of 10, Args.
There we go. We'll run a test on that at the end. I'm going to just randomly point at one, and you've got to guess what it is.
Yeah, I would fail that. So Omatana is very pleased that Farmer Cop apparently spent 4 hours continually going back to play the game until he'd mapped out the whole map and found there was 1 field of green beans. So I think that's probably the biggest revelation in this stream, that is the final crop.
Yep. Red beets. So that's those 4 are the root crops that came with the premium expansion.
Yeah.
Yep. Might as well just talk about the fact sheets really quickly.
Yeah, let's.
Up on the screen.
Yep.
So, I mean, there was nothing we hadn't seen except for the Izeki tractor. The S series was obviously revealed in the Gamescom footage.
Yeah,
big tractor though,
wasn't it? It's lovely, isn't it?
Horsepower. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said like Vultra, and I was saying to FSG before we started, I was actually at the local Vultra dealer yesterday. And the colors, like they didn't have this tractor here, but they had a lot of the other ones, and they had 4 different colors, and they just look so good.
They do.
See them, the metallic paint jobs, they do a really good job at presenting them.
Yeah, they seem to have like a deal where you can pretty much choose from any range of colors that you want, which is very smart.
And that's what we saw with, like, having been through both the Fendt and Deutz factory. If you want something special, they'll do it. Like they specifically said, the Fendt people said that they do like orange for civil works.
That's right.
Companies and that sort of thing. So it's all, they make the tractors made to order from the start of the production line. So it does give you the chance. But yeah, that's those.
There we go. Curious if Oxbow harvesters will be in game primary green bean harvesters. I think that's going to be a pretty strong maybe. I can't commit to it, but we've already seen, I think, I'll go back to it just quickly. That's right. I was going to quickly pop up have you got the thumbnail from the fact sheets there, Hogs? Somebody asking about Oxbow. Will Oxbow pea harvesters and primary green bean harvester? Likelihood is I wouldn't be surprised if it is an Oxbow harvester. I think Ogs is frozen again.
Am I there?
Oh, there you go.
I can hear you.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that next to the Crone trailer in the background, we know is now a pea harvester.
Looks quite different. It's a solid bin on the back rather than the open hopper that's on
right.
the spinach harvester.
And they do bean harvesters as well, don't they? So
yeah, very similar technology. I think there's actually a looking on their website, and I know you've had a look. They do one harvester which does both. This one's listed as only doing peas, but I guess it's possible
Yeah.
they might do beans as well.
Yeah, we don't know what Ludwig. We don't know what this is in the background, just behind it with the white.
No,
with the white
that's what I
roof.
was wondering. I wonder if it's the. Does it look a bit like the Xerion, the 12650? Possibly.
Oh, possibly actually, yeah. Yeah, possibly.
And I don't know. I mean, I speculated that that's the CR11 combine.
Yeah.
So you've got the Case AF11 and then the New Holland CR11 there.
Yeah. John Deere self-propelled chopper. There's something hiding in between the. Is that an 8RX or?
Looks like maybe a
9R,
9R, is it?
actually.
9R, looking at the back of it there.
Yeah. So what's?
And that's
I wonder what that is.
Volvo wheel loader.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course Deutz Fahr, Kubota, Krone.
Yeah. International
Mm.
truck, and then the blue thing in the background as well. Probably a Lemkin.
Yeah, something in there, disc
like that.
cultivator or something. Or
Well, it looks a bit too light blue for a Lemkin, but
yeah,
something.
It's something. Well, I only just noticed this red thing up in the back here. I don't know.
Oh yeah. And somebody spotted did somebody spot a Massey combine in one of the other thumbnails as well, Hugs?
That was in. Let me find that now. That was in the spinach block.
Oh, okay, but hidden away, just as
yeah,
in the background. Got the spinach stuff here somewhere. Here we go. I've got a few of them here, Hugs. See if I can. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, hiding up in here in the back of the shed.
It could be like. That
So
could be
red combine with a white head on it, cab.
Could be a cotton harvester, that couldn't it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have said it's a Massey combine.
Okay.
I think someone said what model it was. Thanks, buddy. It did take you ages to do.
There's Rusty. How you doing, Rusty? Nice to see you.
Funny.
Do we know if we get lightning
Hey,
with the weather? Not 100% confirmed yet, the Sarge. That's a good question. I might message the guys now. In fact, Farmer Cop's still chatting to me here.
We had I think that's the Great Plains. Well, a lot of people have suggested that's the Great Plains cedar that we saw in the Gamescom trailer.
Yeah.
I hadn't actually realised until I started looking into it that Great Plains wasn't a brand in 22.
No.
I was just so used to it being there in 19 and hadn't really clicked.
Yeah, just missed it altogether.
Yep.
There
we go. So what else do you want to talk about? Like, there's a whole lot more we've had shown to us. So just summarising, I guess, since we last did a From the Field, which was when we were together in Scotland, which feels like a heck of a long time ago.
Yeah.
But we've had the Spinach blog, the Riverbend Springs blog, we've had the Gamescom information. So we saw the weather, we saw the baby animals. We've had Gamescom itself, where we found out about peas.
Yep.
We've now found out about green beans, which I finished recording my summary for the month of September, month of August last night. I'm now going to have to go back and edit that to add in that little tidbit. And yeah, we've seen the Ps, and then we've had our first fact sheet. So there's sort of 5 different information releases across the month.
There's a lot, and there's a lot still to go, Args, I think, isn't there? You think there's
Yeah, I
a
think so.
case that they're releasing info, and we've still got, well, what is it, 1st of September tomorrow. So, we've got over 2 months still to go. There's still a lot of stuff that they could still release and announce. I still think there's some big ticket stuff that they want to. Well, we know with Tokyo Game Show they're going to release the Asia map and go into a bit of a deep dive on the rice side of things. So that'll be interesting. But other than that, there's still some big ticket items I think they haven't mentioned.
So you asked in our private message there while we were talking to DJ and Cop about third person.
Yeah.
And when he said about the fact they've animated a torch in the hand, that made me think, why would you do that? I know obviously they've done it. You carry a chainsaw around, you can carry a pressure washer around, you can see those in your hand when you're in first person, but you've never been able to see a torch.
Yeah.
I wondered if they'd gone to that effort, because we are going to see the third person option. I did see Yan asked a wee while ago as well about menus, and if they saw anything on menus. It sounded like from what they just from a brief comment about not being able to see productions, whether the build has locked out a lot of those menus.
Yeah, I think they're being very selective about what they show people.
Yeah, and then you get
but
people
interestingly, Args, way back to FarmCon, there was talk, and they said they're looking into it, so they're not confirming it's a feature in the game, but in terms of menus and UI and interface and all of that, they talked about potentially being able to move the in-game interface about. So if you are on a super wide monitor, or you want to maybe shoot TikTok content or vertical content, that you could actually move the speedometer and where the clock, time, data, weather stuff is. You could move those around on the screen.
I was just trying to find something we could look at, but I
don't know if he's thinking or he's frozen again. So I'll keep going while he's. There he is. He's back.
I keep on dropping out. I don't know what's going on with the internet.
It's that stormy weather, mate.
Yeah.
But a few animal shots this week as well, that were quietly released in the background. So water buffalo, the sheep. You were saying before, Args, you're not a big fan of this grass texture. It looks a bit almost like the blades of grass are too big. Scaling's wrong on them.
Yeah.
Too coarse.
Too coarse and too uniform. I know they've got to have a degree of uniformity, but then you look at like the sunflowers, and I was impressed how non-uniform they looked now compared to what we've seen previously. Like, they're still in rows, but there's a much bigger variety in head sizes and shape and things like that. I think it's just scale. Just looking at like those two in the foreground, the pedal pattern seems to be very similar, but they're just scaled differently. So.
Yeah, it does look like that, doesn't it? But even I think what I got away from this was the density. Look at how thick the leaves are, and again on the hang on, I was going to go this way, and again on the oats, it looks, when you look through a field in 22, you can literally see in between the plants, and that seems to have gone away completely now, which is nice.
That's right. Yeah. Now, is that field harvested beyond, or are we seeing a level of detail change there across the field?
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've spotted it a few times recently. Is
the Ring of Doom?
The Ring of Doom is back. Yeah. In fact, on this content, let me see if I can pull this up. They show it up. They show it in here.
Oh, yeah.
You skip along, Args. I think it's when the combine's in the field. There's an obvious bit where it's
yeah.
I mean, I think it's masked slightly by the fog a little bit, but
See quite a
run
difference
little
there,
bit
isn't there?
further. Run a little bit further on the horizon. There's yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's maybe a little bit further away. I can't tell if it's a little bit further away or not, but it's still there, unfortunately. But hopefully you'll be able to edit it like you could in the game XML in 22. So
Yeah. Yep. This is what I was wanting to show before because we were talking. So I guess what they were talking about at FarmCon was possibility of moving these. And I know you said about TikTok and content creators. Just to be clear, they don't do things just specifically for content creators. Their example was more someone who's playing on, say, a 42-inch widescreen, super wide monitor. They can actually position these. If you've got a huge width of screen, you can actually bring them closer into the center, so you're not having to look all the way to the side of your screen to find
yeah. So that'd be good. But yeah, I think hopefully the fog will hide that ring of doom a little bit more. Have to wait and see.
We will.
Just have to wait and see. Farmer Cop said the GPS is super easy to use, which is good. I think they have to do that to kind of cater for all player levels and skill levels, and you don't want something too convoluted.
No,
they touched on that at FarmCon, didn't they?
They did. There's two parts to it. One's make it easier for people to use and pick up.
Oh, he's off again. Technology is ruining us tonight. It really is. We're oh, he's back.
Dropping in and out. Sorry.
Right.
You've only got how many buttons on one of these?
Yeah.
Not many.
Yeah, so you've got to make it pretty. You've got to make it pretty easy. So
you do.
No.
What else is there? I feel like there's been so much. I'm kind of don't know what to talk about. You can see that's a good. That is a good shot there. How different that looks compared to the one that's in the screenshot.
Yeah.
How high that hopper is, although it's probably unfolded. Maybe it'll fold down.
The other thing I liked about this was the unload animation. It looks really detailed. Now, again, I still don't know whether our textures in the trailers are going to be 2D or a little bit more 3D. But this unload texture I thought was very nice. Yeah, feels a lot more like the windrower texture and things like that, or the tedding texture. What about new gameplay features from Mark? Well, you've got GPS and hopefully improved AI workers. What else are you looking for, Mark, in terms of gameplay? Are you thinking, some people have said, is there going to be some sort of insurance or some sort of mechanism if your crops get ruined by a tornado or something like that?
Even the swathing's technically a new gameplay feature.
Yeah, true. Yeah, in base game, isn't it?
Yeah. Base game.
Jojo, they are playing on PCs at PAX, laptops.
Console, no one will technically be able to play console until it's released by the console people, really, will they?
Well, that's true, yeah.
Or you have a disc copy, a physical copy printed, because you can't. I don't know how they do that with developer versions and things. But
I think you have. It's like you have a developer account, don't you?
Dev consoles. Do it's interesting? And just going to touch very briefly. I'm not going to get into it because it's massive, and I don't know a single thing about it. But Terra Life released yesterday, which has been talked about for a very long time. But what interested me is they had Novag in there as a brand for direct seeders. They've been working with a modder
okay. Nice.
Bring Novag, and we're obviously getting it as a model or brand in FS25, as you can see here. So intrigued to see whether that relationship through Terra Life and Farming Agency bought Novag to FS25, or whether it's the other way around.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was watching Disturb's video the other day, so if you want all the lowdown on Terra Life, go check out Disturb's. I think going to do a stack of stuff on it in the next few weeks.
For me, it's I sort of won't touch on it, but it's with only 2 months till this is released, it's kind of don't really have the energy to invest in learning how it works. And
exactly, I think
it looks amazing in terms of what they've done, but It's for a very niche group of people who want to play the game as realistically as possible.
Exactly, and they'll probably stay on 22 for a while if they want to play it that
Yeah.
realistically, rather than move over. So
I'm super impressed with the baby animals and the animations. Like just looking at the different, there's what 4 different sizes of calves in there. There's ones that are wobbly as on their feet.
Yeah.
Just in there you can see them standing up, like the little one. These guys trotting around. Even the way they prance, like having grown up on a cattle farm and having raised calves and that, it's pretty impressive.
Good to see, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. One of the goes for a bit of a dart. This one in the back corner here. They buck around like that. It's exactly what they do.
Yeah, the animations are nice. Even the tail up in the air and stuff like that's good.
Yeah.
Farmer Cop actually, from playing the game, he checked the menu. He said actually it looks like cleaning out of calf pens is back, or animal pens. Kind of directly relates to their percentage of productivity. So didn't know much more than that, but he said it was up in one of the menus of cleanliness and cleaning the sheds. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Kind of hope they do a little bit with animals beyond just kind of updating the models. So
correct. The ground deformation was interesting because they said that it slows the tractor down or affects the acceleration of the tractor. So the deformation actually affects the handling physics.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. One thing I only just thought about and noticed there is when it backs over and goes over its own tracks, it doesn't deform any deeper. So it's kind of saying it's fully compacted.
So, yeah.
I'm assuming you could run forwards and backwards across a field and create a completely compacted section.
Yeah.
That wouldn't compact any further.
Gavin Schofield, DJ said he couldn't pinpoint anything specific, but he said in general the handling felt better when driving.
I like this texture, this planting texture.
I like the planting texture. The other thing I like is the on the Malo screenshots, the till texture.
Oh yeah, you talked about
cultivated texture looks really nice.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
there's a lot more kind of debris in it. It's not really clean, pure soil, which it never is it?
No, it's not. It's not.
So,
I don't know if there was anything else in that video.
So I'm trying to think what else. That's probably it, isn't it, Args? In terms of just covering stuff off. I know we're having a few technical issues as well with
looks more like
connections and stuff with the guys at the start, but
and with me
and with you. Well, you are a long way away. We are on the opposite side of the world. I think we sometimes forget that, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I'm guessing from Bovine's comment before, there must be power outages in Taranaki, so they must have been more hammered with the weather than we have been today.
Yeah.
Overnight. What was I just about to say? Oh, I was just commenting on the like just in general the textures. That corn textures looks a lot more like Benji FS's one that was 22.
I just think in general, when you look at that, the density of the grass, the general vibe, the trees in the background, and everything feels a lot richer, doesn't it?
Yeah, even just looking like you can see some sort of spots up in here, like the crop's a little bit patchy.
Yeah.
But you're also, like, in this view, you're not really getting that ring of death.
You're not, are you? In fact, there's a good example, Args, of an unflooded rice field.
Yeah,
So
I was actually I hadn't noticed the ground deformation on this track either.
Yeah, so it's less on the gravel roads, isn't it?
Yeah. But I hadn't actually picked up that it was deforming the ground as it was going along this track.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see some plough. We saw that image, didn't we?
Yeah, that was an impressive one.
So we're waiting to see a bit more. But the ridge and the edge of the field here, you basically draw that like you draw a fence.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. 100% Christoph.
I only get blamed for audio issues.
True. Yeah, so there you go. You can see what I said about not. It's just called rice, and we've got rice and long grain rice, not short grain and long grain.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it doesn't differentiate like the two as much.
The symbols for the weather on the last video with a tornado, it actually showed it as a weather symbol. Okay. I'm going to go back
to the tornado. Yeah.
class, the case at the end. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Good spot. Why I'd not seen that.
Oh, had you not seen that? So that was in the Implay's video. You can see when they were fast forwarding time on his video, it showed off like it was sunny, and then this was the forecasted weather. You know how you have the split
Yeah.
weather, and it shows you the current and the forecast. But yeah,
Nice.
when there's currently a tornado in play, they last a long time. When you've seen people skipping time,
Yeah.
they don't just like if you skip an hour of time, it doesn't just
Go away. Yeah. No, I think yeah, we've seen that when they're running it like 360 times, and it's still moving across the. I lost you again, Args.
It's your fault. The road textures. See how there's that little dip there? I think that's the whole painted texture rather than a 3D model texture that they showed off at FarmCon.
Yeah, I think that's a
there.
huge step forward for me.
Yes and no. I agree for performance-wise, but how, if that was an asphalted road, they're not going to have a little bump in it like that, are they? They're going to engineer that out. They're going to level that out.
You've clearly not driven around in Scotland recently.
Well, I have.
No, you have actually, yeah. But I think what it stops is, and it frustrates me sometimes on maps, is it's almost too rigid, the roads. It's almost like they've been dropped in as sections of road, whereas I think certainly in the UK they do follow the contours a little bit more. I think Args has gone again. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on those more subtle. I think if everything's a tornado, it will be a bit frustrating, won't it? I think it would be better if it's high winds, heavy rain, things like that would be really beneficial. But Args' vid's still playing, but he's quit on me. Here he comes. He's coming back.
That was
Hey,
a
mate.
proper long disconnect. Hello, how you doing?
On paper, this was a really good idea, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. That actually the texture on the road's kind of cool because it looks dirty. I always thought the roads looked too clean and too uniform.
Yeah,
it's a lot more.
Well, it's gonna shed. If you've been in a muddy field as well, they've said it's going to shed on the road and stuff, aren't they? So you'll get tire tracks and things like that. So hopefully, yeah, it feels a little bit more lived in than the kind of
definitely
set textures. Apparently, you can. For those who missed when DJ and Cop were on earlier on as well, you can still harvest in the rain, but it destroys your yield on the crop. So it's not worth doing. River worst in their banks. That would be good. Flooding would be good, or pools of water on the ground as well. We don't know anything about that yet. So, kill that vidargs. That's destroying your.
That's what's doing. Yeah. So there's I was just saying about the symbol. So you've got the sun and then the tornado forecast.
Nice.
Yeah. And then as they skip time, I think it goes from 6 times up to fast time to get the tornado.
Yeah. So this is I saw how fast they're running the time 5 times there, and it's still almost static, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've seen them ramp it up even higher, and it doesn't move particularly quickly across the map.
No. So you might have a tornado on the ground for a few hours rather than a few minutes, or however long they normally hang around for. Right, there we go. I'll get rid of that video.
There we go.
Can I do a short breakdown for Terra Life?
I don't like a short
breakdown. Just obviously, Disturb Simulations will be your go-to person for that. I could not recommend his content for anything farming agency related. He does a good breakdown on that. He's been involved for quite some time with them and sort of helping with development. I don't know what exactly his role has been, but he certainly knows stuff on it. So go and check out his channel.
Yeah, he's a very, very detailed, very analytical thinking on it. So
right, let me find a screenshot, Mojo because I think there was something kind of alluded to in one of the screenshots, and I think it came in the weather chat.
While you're looking for that, Saran's just put here a tornado beside you and the tree is still. I've seen various. I've seen it with the trees static, but I've also seen other ones when the trees are moving quite vigorously. So I don't know. I don't know if it has to be in the full direct vicinity of the tornado, or if it only is, anything a certain distance away. It doesn't impact it. I think it's one of those ones we'll not really know until we're actually playing it full time, will we?
Yeah, that's right. So this image here from the weather was the car on the crossing the road.
Yeah, it's almost like it's past the tractor and pulled back in.
And that's something. So the latest mobile game, FS23, cars would overtake equipment. So I think they won't stop, but they might go past. I'm assuming they'll still come up and honk at you first. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
They'll. On the way it worked on FS23, they'd almost pull out to pass, and then they'd detect a car coming in the other direction, so they'd stop, go back on the right side until they could do it. So, imagine if you had 10. What would it be like if you put? I'm gonna. It's just something to test. Had like 10 trailers in a road train configuration. Whether they could figure out how to pass something that long.
Yeah. Yeah. But you would think that would be a relatively easy thing to implement if they had it in the mobile game.
Yeah, you'd think so.
They've already done the heavy lifting, so it's just a case of porting it over to this game.
Yeah, that's right. First mod out will be a full-blown F5 tornado. Just covers the whole map.
Yeah.
Deletes your game save.
And all your mods.
Yeah.
Uninstalls Windows. Yeah.
The debris looks awesome though, particularly in the videos we've seen so far.
Yeah. I want the truck from Twisters in the game pretty quickly. Modders, if you're listening.
I think Rental Man Buck's already working on that.
Oh, is he? Nice.
Yeah. I think I've seen him share something on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, that was one I was going to ask the guys as well. I'm going to message them after this with a few things. Does rain hit the windscreen and be impacted by wipers as well? Because it sits nicely on the vehicles when it's but we've not seen anything beyond that, have we?
No, didn't I think DJ and Clutch asked that question last week at Kermit. I don't know what the what the answer was. Yeah, can't remember what the answer was.
Look at that. That's one of my favorite shots. Go back to that previous one.
That one there. Atmospheric.
That is really nice.
I'll have to do a screenshot competition.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's going to be a whole bundle of fun, isn't it? Yeah, LFM, will DJ post a video for what his experience of FS20? No, DJ doesn't post videos.
He doesn't post.
DJ would post what you have for breakfast if you thought you'd get some views for it.
That's on the DJ Eats channel.
Yeah.
Go and check it out.
I can very much guarantee LFM you'll get a video or 10 from DJ on his experience over the last day or so. No questions at all.
Yeah. He did say he'd share some of the footage he's recorded with us too. So
yeah. As a moderator,
we'll have a chance to look at that.
There. Another one from Mark. They couldn't get into any of the menu interfaces in the version they played, Mark. They're obviously keeping that back as well, which again makes you think they're probably changing the way it's done slightly and want to make a bit of a thing of it at some point.
No, the tornadoes can't pick up machinery.
Bales, Bo.
Bales.
They'll pick up bales if you've left them in the field, but not machines, sadly, or cows.
Just debris and detritus. Nice to see the couple of cases. Yeah.
Look at the detail on the texture and the lighting reflection and the shininess of the rain on the tarmac tire tracks. There's a lot going on there, actually, isn't there?
There is, yeah. Certainly is. Broken trees over the side from the tornado.
Yeah.
I want to know if every tree's affected, and the other thing I want to know with tornadoes is, are they completely random on the map? as in, could they affect any field? Do they have a predefined path, or do they
Yeah.
just something that happens? The other question I had is, if a tornado goes through an NPC's field, does it affect the harvest yield, and therefore could it affect a contract and fulfilling a contract?
Yeah. The other thing I thought, if you remember back to the tree marking that you did, or the
Oh, yeah.
get rid of the dead trees in Silver Run Forest, so that I wonder if there's going to be like little submissions. So if a tornado's been through, there's a little task to get rid of 5 stripped trees or something.
Yeah. Kuma said that happened once a year. Yeah, that's right. And that brings a good point. It's something we were talking about before that we haven't heard about or seen yet. NPCs. You know, we know you can interact with NPCs, but there has not been a single piece of gameplay footage or anything other than saying NPCs are interactable.
Yeah.
So from a
There was
gameplay
a
point
screenshot
of
of
view,
the
that
old
could
guy,
be
wasn't there, at
really big.
FarmCon?
Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I stood next to an 8S yesterday, and this is a 9S, but gosh, they're big.
They are, aren't they?
8S is just massive. Right. What else do you want to talk about? I've got one thing I want to share that I told you about the other day.
I can't remember what that is.
I didn't think you would. Let me just find it.
There you go. I was saying, if you look at the windscreen of the tractor, it looks like the wipers have cleaned them. But I would be very surprised if they've gone to all that effort with the rain that sits on the mirrors and the vehicles, that they haven't gone as far as making it clear windows. Do we know if we can toggle weather on and off? I think you'd probably be able to turn tornadoes off. General rain and things like that, I mean, you can't do that at the moment. I think it's just part of the game, right? Just the rain is a bit of a random thing, so I don't expect you can turn it off completely.
Right.
Until Easy Dev comes out and you can reset and have every day sunny.
That's true. Right. Have you got your tinfoil hat?
I've got my Thrustmaster hat. That's the same thing.
Your Thrustmaster, it's the same thing. It's a conspiracy hat, is it? Right. I told you about this. So this is a tweet from the 8th of May this year, from Ian Bell, who is the developer for the new project, or not Project Cars, Project Motor Racing, which they're building on Giant's engine, which we found out in July. But he posted this back in May, saying a good sim needs VR, in my opinion. We were a release title on Oculus, Rift and Vive. Unreal doesn't work for the foregoing, so I've made a huge call, and it's an engine change, which we now know is Giant's engine. Slightly more amenable and flexible. Details soon.
So he's made a call based on VR to take the game to Giant's engine. So you think VR for FS25, Hugs?
Wow. At least if he can bring their expertise into the engine, maybe in the future, whether it's too late in the cycle for
20-year anniversary.
But who knows? Could even be a platinum expansion, premium expansion feature added or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was just just when I was trawling back through it, I was like, oh wow, that's interesting to see that they made a decision to move to do that. So
it's a good one. Yeah. It's a good one.
Who knows?
I did have some pictures. I'm just trying to find them now. Yeah, there's one. That is.
Oh yeah.
That is Giant's engine.
Have you got the one with it on the track with the light through the trees?
I probably do somewhere. Hold on a sec. Let's see if I can find it. But that looks cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think it also tells you how complex an engine. Like, people give it a hard time, right? Because graphically, it's not as advanced as maybe an Unreal or something like that. But when you put a game like something that's relatively straightforward, like a sim racing game, where the only thing that's really moving are the 24 or 36 cars on the track, you can really ramp up the detail. So, if because you've got 50 fields, all with different crops in, all at different growth stages and all of that, there's a whole load of data that needs to be processed to show all of that. But in a racing game, that looks every bit as good as that looks better than iRacing. Like iRacing's graphics aren't top tier.
No.
So yeah, I was quite impressed with that. Hang on a minute, let me just go to. I'm going to go to the press, the Giants press site.
I can find it quicker then. I thought he says, which he can't. I thought I put it somewhere. No, anyhow. Sorry, yes, LFM. They did get to play. So PAX West, they have playable versions of the game like they had at Gamescom. You get 10 minutes at a time, and then the game resets. So if you want to go and explore somewhere, which sounds like Pharmacop did, and found green beans. So anyone joining who's only just joined in the last half hour and missed the first part, DJ and Pharmacop did confirm both peas, and there's plenty of that they could find, but also they confirmed green beans as the second of the unknown crops. So
yeah,
that's
that
confirmed. I've seen it in game. They had evidence.
Exclusive. Only found here. Here we go, Ox.
That's the one. When I saw that, that just reminded me of all this. Felt like all the screenshots we've seen with the fog and God rays and all of that for 25.
Yeah. It is nice. The markings on the tarmac and stuff is nice.
Yeah, it is.
See. Yeah, excited about that too. So there we go.
Something else to plan all the time you don't have.
I know, right? Just add it to the list of things. So there we go, right? I think probably we've wrung this out as much as we can.
I think so. So what do you think? What's going to happen? So let's look forward. Or we've gone through August. September is here. October, game releases in November. So we know we're going to get fact sheets every Friday from now on through to release. I think there's 10 Fridays, 10 or 11 Fridays before release.
I think
so. We're going to get a few more bits of equipment. We've got Tokyo Game Shows the last weekend of this month, September.
Yep.
And they've already said that they will be revealing some more information about the Asian map at Tokyo Game Show. So that's another something to look forward to. Was there anything else?
I think, like I've said it for a while now. I think there's a couple of big ticket items that they're just holding back. I think we might see something maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the game's released as well. Like you said, NPCs, they've talked about it. We know it's coming, but we haven't seen anything on it.
Yep.
That could be a big one. We don't know anything about how AI works on the roads or any improvements from that side. We know it works better in the fields, but John, that car game is a new game that's coming out that's built on the Giants engine. They've done a partnership to bring a sim racing game, Project Motor Racing, to and it's going to be done on Giants engine.
They're heading to the end of August. They're going to be at a show in the Czech Republic too.
Yeah.
So they've got a few different places they're going to be over the next couple of months. Is it the livestock show on this weekend or two, or is that next weekend too?
Yes.
The US, I think they're going to be there.
There's a lot going on.
There is.
There's a lot going on. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I think there's a load of stuff to still be announced. And they've also said this demo version of the game has got a lot of stuff switched off in it.
Yeah.
They're not giving
I'm just thinking, we know ropes in the game. A lot of people have speculated things like hemp, possibly, because rope manufacturing and possibly flax, but there's no fill types left on the trailer for that if beans and peas are confirmed. So, starting to learn more about some of those productions and things like that.
Yeah, so what's happening with that? What's happening with that rope production? How's that made?
Yeah.
What are your inputs for that? That's going to be interesting, isn't it?
I think there's a few more like that we'll have to find out about. They might dive them up. I don't know. They probably might even do a blog post just purely on productions. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw something like that in the future.
Yeah.
Focusing on things like that, focusing on the game interface.
Yeah.
NPCs, third person, if it's a thing. Who knows?
Yeah, productions is huge. We know nothing about productions, do we?
No. Haven't seen the
Nothing at
menus,
all.
haven't seen how they work or anything. So. Particularly with the buildable buildings that we found out about at FarmCom too.
Yep. So, what are your inputs? What do you create?
Yeah.
Do you have inputs that create elements that you then use to build the houses, or who knows?
Who knows?
Loads of things to consider.
Yeah. Good one, mate. All right. Well, like you say, we've wrung it out as much as we can.
Thanks for everyone for sticking with us on this one. I know it wasn't ideal in terms of tech and things like that, but
it was smooth. We spent about an hour on the other morning, didn't we, with DJ before he left home, and he was trying all sorts of different setups with his different IT pieces, and you know, we had it. He was playing the game through a capture card on one device and talking and streaming to us with a camera on another. So it was going to be a slick production right up until about 15 minutes before we went live.
And we realized that the internet connection was utterly awful at PAX. So there we go. Yeah, we tried. They are going to send us some of the content that they've recorded over the last day or so. So hopefully we'll be able to share some of that with you. If not, keep an eye on DJ and Cop's channels as well. They'll have a lot of info on those. But there we go. Good positive feedback though from two people that we know pretty well. So you know, I trust their judgment on it. They play the game a lot, so if they say it's good, I've got every kind of hope that it is going to be good.
Yeah, it's you just reading the messages. Yeah.
That was a train wreck on our end. Haha. Hey.
Yeah. Funny. That was all good.
Can't control the internet.
No, you can't. This is a test. I can tell you that over 4 years of trying.
Yeah. Right, everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Pleasure, mate.
Nice to have a chat anyway. Got some new info. Green beans.
Green beans.
But yeah, if we get more info, we will of course share it with you as soon as we can.
Yep. And we'll have another one of these sometime towards the end of next month, maybe.
Yep. Sounds like a good idea.
All right,
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care. See you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye.